It is shameful to admit this, but it is the unfortunate truth that just by looking at my replays you would not be able to guess that I've been playing GOAT format for more than 7 years now. Uh, Now we're going to review this match, which I played against my friend, which he agreed to help me test for the Warrior matchup. So he's playing Warriors, I'm playing Chaos Turbo. We will keep his hand closed and go through the plays and my thinking process. I hope that you can leave a comment if you find something that you disagree with or just notice some mistakes that I keep making. This would be very helpful for me. At the same time, I hope that maybe you learn something as well. So we're going first, starting with upstart, then going for duo. From his discards, it is not possible to determine that it's game one and he's playing warrior. So if we didn't know it, we would maybe think that it's still on Chaos Turbo. And now the play is to set Magician of Fate and Jar. Considering setting MST, the only risk is basically Breaker, and then it's only 50%. If you set it, then you are able to MST his end phase back row. But I think the main benefit of setting MST in this scenario where we opened the duo is that we are able to play around the dash shoot. So we are acting now surprised. Oh no, we are playing against warriors. We pop the end phase back row. Now we are up to 4 cards in hand and we are looking at this 1600 attack Blade Knight. So we can snatch him or we can crash with Tribe. Discarding for Tribe is not preferred because Tribe is pretty weak against chaos, against warrior monsters. Basically everything runs over him. So I was thinking I want to snatch this for 2000 attack Blade Knight while setting Jar and card destruction. I know it's quite risky, especially if he has Heavy Storm, but he didn't use Heavy Storm into one set and 2 back rows, so that's, I think, a good sign that he doesn't have Heavy Storm, at least in the moment. So he sets one and passes. Now we are trying to keep this Blade Knight at 2000 and we draw Sangan. Now we can go aggro with Sangan, which is what I did in the game, but I don't know, maybe it's even better to set the Sangan. But actually I didn't mind if he has Torrential or Mirror Force, because then we are getting the Serpent and it makes our hand a little bit more playable. So I decided to go for the aggro while keeping Blade Knight at 2000. Now he uses Kiko. We can't do anything about it, but we can just get this Serpent. I was also considering maybe getting Tsukuyomi and just summoning, right? So that we do not depend on this 2000 attack Blade Knight. Because if we search Serpent and we draw another monster, then we can't put Blade Knight back to 2000. Therefore, Tsukuyomi would help us. But that is also very risky if he has Mirror Force. So I decided to go for Serpent just for the long run. I set another back row. Now we have, this turn is very interesting. We have a lot of options and the sequencing seems to be quite important. So we have Charity, Serpent, Tribe, Jar of Greed, Card Destructions. We are looking to attack this Kaiko with Blade Knight, which we want to put to 2000. And at the same time we are quite afraid of Mirror Forces and stuff like that. And if we discard Serpent and the attack fails, then we are going to be at risk of Kaiko running over the Serpent. Well, all this in mind, we still have Charity to play first. Now the only question is, do we use Jog or not? So I decided to not use Jog so that we don't get dash shooted, and for the reason that we also keep one card less in hand, so this Blade Knight is easier to put to 2000. So no Solemn. Now the draws are kinda unfortunate, a lot of monsters, and we draw the Tsukuyomi. So for the discards here, I decided to go for Serpent and Knight Assailant, because all of these will come useful later. And of course, Thunder Dragon, useful for card destruction. Now, I decided I will let him dash shoot me. If he has it, that's fine. Tsuku goes back. And now we are just trying to draw a spell or trap so that we are having this 2000 attack Blade Knight. Now we draw 4 traps actually, which is still kinda unfortunate because we would prefer to have at least one normal summon, but at least we draw some good defenses. And attack goes through, so the back row probably not Sakuretsu armor, which we already knew. Okay, Blade Knight goes back to him. Now we can decide to take it or to ring it. If I did not have Serpent in the graveyard, I would have used Ring right away, because I mean we can't afford to hope for top deck. But we have the Serpent, so we can try to set the Serpent, and if he summons another monsters, we have Torrential. That's the idea. Now the plane is changed because we have Chaos Sorcerer. It's fine to summon it early, because a lot of things can go wrong, right? Even with Torrential play, he can have Solemn. If he summons Kaiko and has a Solemn, it's quite bad. So therefore I just went for Chaos Sorcerer, and this will... but I'm not sure. Maybe it's correct, maybe it's not. He goes for Assailant again. We could let this go through, or we can ring it. So I decided I want to put some pressure with the Chaos Sorcerer. Therefore I used ring. Another attack. Now we don't have anything. So here, if you just wait here, he will summon something. You will probably be forced to use Torrential, or you can take it and then summon BLS, but then you have this awkward Torrential, or you can just summon BLS here and attack and try to win quickly. So I thought this was better. Unfortunately for me, the back row was Sakuretsu. So he used Premature, we just used Torrential, and now we top deck Breaker. He top deck Blade Knight, we are just top decking. Forced to use Regeki Break, Spy. We could attack with Spy, but arguably attacking with Spy is good, especially because he still has one Nobleman, he has one Rota for Exiled, he has the Exiled itself, and also Mystic Swordsman. So yes, here comes the Exiled. We top deck everything that is dead. And now we go... Well, if we set Spy before and now one Exiled is gone, setting Spy here is a little bit better, I guess. So, Spy. Effect Spy. We are playing around Mirror Force, which is still present. And with 19 cards in deck, there is more than 50%. I mean, not really, but it's likely that one of the back rows is Mirror Force. dash shoot as well, so we can play around dash shoot by using nobleman first. Well, and then setting the nobleman. Right? I didn't want to set this but I did because of the dash shoot. But we're getting punished either way now, you will see. Right. It was the Xing. And now our entire board is gone. Knight assailant. Regeki break. And now here I think is the most the worst misplay, the one that I caught immediately after doing it in the entire series. So we have Regeki break and these two are zigged and he is attacking with Dawn. So in the game I just killed the Dawn, but clearly the better play is at the start of battle phase use Regeki break, pop the Xing, and then use mirror force on the Dawn. So in theory everything is the same except the nobleman is alive, which will actually be relevant. For example, Petsukuyami. Now we don't have the live nobleman. So he goes Rota for lady attacks. Now we can't attack because our nobleman is locked, so we have to use Chaos Sorcerer. And now he uses book and can't use nobleman. So just forced to set the Zug, he passes. Now mirror force is still a problem. But I decided to just go for game because the new one was drawn from the top deck, which means there is just 1 in 12 chance that it's mirror force and also 1 in 12 chance that it's torrential tribute. So basically it's 1 in 6 chance that it is torrential or mirror force. So basically I have 5 out of 6 chances that I just win by this play, and unfortunately it was torrential. Now we are back to top decking, and I top deck Deco, just attack, and again just attack with, by the way, my last card, which was Heavy Storm. Now we are trash talking a little bit. So welcome to game 2. We have spent 12 minutes for this game 1, and we have still 8 games to go because every single match was 3 games long. And by the way, I won every game 1, lost every game 2, and you will see what happens in the game 3s. Okay, now he goes first. T sets for a warrior, which sometimes means Donzaluk, sometimes means Warrior Lady. It can be Blade Knight, it can even be Magician of Fate, or in this case, as you can see in the stats, it's Morphing Jar. But how should you play against this? Like I said, there's so many options that you can't really know what is it. But if you have Breaker, I think it's very nice to attack it, because sometimes, like I said, sometimes they just set Blade Knights and Donzaluks and Sakuretsu armors or the Dust Tornadoes and stuff like that. So in that case, you can go for a +2 play with Breaker. That's why I went for Breaker. Unfortunately, was the ring. And now because the whole back row is set, we get the signal that the set is actually Morphing Jar. Therefore, we are forced to use Regeki break, even going for -1. And now we are getting pummeled by dash shoots and everything. Trying to wall with Zambira. Pot, book, text, sets more backers. Now we can try to wall with Spy. We don't really have any choices here. Now we can wall with Serpent. Now we can try to wall with Cypher Soldier. And now we can try to see his back row and then we scoop. And now it's game 3 time. We are going first. We open Thunder Dragons and Charity. And upstart. And the safest play is Ring and Spy, although I am sad to use Ring so early, but of course you have to you set Ring, otherwise he can have Breaker, which is unfortunate, but in this case. So he counters our play by having an even better play. Discards Heavy Storm. And yeah, I see what happened here. I lost electricity here and I didn't know what was the first target. Then after a bunch of minutes I reconnected. And I didn't see what the target was, so I shuffled hand, and then it seems that he discards Sakuretsu armor with the random pick, and now I probably choose Tribe for like 3 reasons. First reason is, like we said, Tribe has to be protected. We don't have any discard fodder, and thirdly, and again I think most important reason is we don't have any monsters left. If we discard Tribe, therefore Dashut is dead. If we don't top deck a monster, of course. Now, always when Blade Knight attacks Spy, you don't have to protect. It's better to resolve. So now in the draw phase, we top deck Zombira and we have the MST. So I decided I want to use the priority to play around Dashut, and then we can smack him really hard with Zombira 2 Spies, and with the ring behind, it's actually a very good position, I think. We are proceeding with our aggressive plan. Well, this heavy now plays itself. There is the BLS, and we are now just going to lose. I set the second Saku because of Morphine Jar. Get punished immediately by Heavy Storm. So this duo is set only to encourage the BLS to keep banishing. Otherwise I would keep it in hand. Looks like it works. The Spy attacks because of Morphine Jar again. But I don't know why I didn't set break before. Again, the back rows work in encouraging BLS to be peaceful in defense mode, but now the lady is attacking. So now we top deck Chaos Sorcerers. We don't have any darks, but the play will be to just use Regeki Break in his next turn. We can take this still. And now our win condition, it seems to be Cypher Soldier attack into Lady for Lidl. Therefore, we're just going to blind Regeki Break one of the back rows. This one was top decked, this one is old. Decided to go for the top decked one. We are looking good. And now we it's Sakuretsu, so we lose. Now we keep more trash talking, salty talking, and so on. He goes first for the match 2. Alright, start with the back row and the Blade Knight. We have a really good, nice hand. Pot. And now again, this hand will be able to set the entire 3 back rows. Therefore, if his back row is Xing, that will be really unfortunate. But even if we don't consider this, we can still see that he has 4 hearts, he has 1600 Blade Knight, and we have Breaker. So either we set Sangan, Spy, or we try to go for the Breaker. And like I explained earlier, the back rows which the warriors set turn 1 can be sometimes vulnerable against Breaker. So I decided to go again for the +1 play with Breaker here. Not attacking because of Sakuretsu armors, that doesn't really profit that much, and now attack. I'm perfectly happy for this 2-for-1 trade. Okay, now let's look at his hand. Decide to go for Sasuke. We have spies, right? So he has this dead moth, no spells. This will come very important later on. And we don't really care about this Breaker or Kaiko, so Sasuke goes back. So this Kaiko attacks. So would you ring here? I don't think so, because we will be able to set Spy next turn, but I guess in the game I decided to ring it. But yeah, my reasoning for the ring immediately was I will have to ring it anyway, sometimes or not, so better to save some life points. Which it's not bad reasoning, right? But now the problem is that we don't have any protection left. That's the main problem. So considering these 2 possibilities, probably the better possibility is to have at least 1 protection. Therefore, not ringing was probably better. So now we still know his entire hand and back row. So it's Breaker, Moth, and Solemn. Yes, now perfectly getting punished for the lack of the ring. Now I know that he has Solemn, right? And I was thinking Sangan or Charity. Now if I do Charity and he Solemns it, then I can go for Sangan for +1. If I summon Sangan and he Solemns it, then I can Charity in peace. So which one of these plays is better? And I decided that I want to actually resolve Charity first. Therefore, I summoned Sangan first, get Solemned, and now Charity actually doesn't give us anything. So we still know he has Monition of Fate and Breaker, and he knows that we know that he has Breaker. Therefore, I went here for a little risky mind trick by just setting Mirror Force. I was hoping that he would attack with both, possibly, or just with 1, but either way I would use the Mirror Force. I didn't want to risk so much damage, so I took this risk and it paid off a little bit. Now we still know Breaker and Magician of Fate in hand, and because of this knowledge I think that setting Moth is the best, because he has to top deck the out, which he does not, and he just sets 2. Now we are assuming that the set is Moth, because why would he set Breaker? And he doesn't have any spells though, so maybe one of the back rows is a spell like Book of Moon. It's definitely not Nobleman. But anyway, we have Moth, so does it resolve? It does not. Now, because I was thinking that this is a Moth, I wanted to attack it so that he doesn't get a spell. Maybe it's even MST or something, I don't know. But anyway, just attack it. And then we can set. He top deck snatch, but we are keep some trash talking, friendly. Get the third spy, and now we know that this is Moth. So the play is to just attack this Moth before we get rid of the Chaos Sorcerer, right? So now we know that this spy will die. But if we summon Tribe in main phase 2, the spy will die as well, and then we are very vulnerable against any monster, and we don't have anything actually here. Therefore, I decided I want to wait for Tribe so that I will kill at least 2 monsters with it. Yes. We are happy to wait Torrential, keeping Tribe. Okay, so now he has 2 monsters. We have to Tribe now. Set Regeki Break. And now basically there is no cards in the warrior deck that can be chainable towards this and help him win, so game 2. Again, we have a pretty decent hand. Solemn's back the spy. Now, I want to talk about just very quickly about upstart pot combinations. Basically, you have to calculate: is it better to upstart first or pot first in order to minimize the chances of drawing 2 Thunder Dragons with the pot? And I think the answer is it's better to upstart first. So it's only minor difference in percentages. So now we are playing against Unknown Back Row. Got Dashut that he has played Knight. We have some protection. He knows about Torrential. We know that he sometimes plays Xinx, but he also plays Scratches, Dust Tornadoes and everything. We have Fate and Serpent available for setting. So I can't risk Zinc here, and I also can't risk Moth dying. Therefore, setting Serpent. And of course, Torrential is the best with Serpent. So, okay. Okay, now we top decked Tribe. So we can use the Tribe immediately with setting Mirror Force behind it, but it's not so safe against 2 backers. Could be Dust Tornadoes. And we have Mirror Force, and so I think, and that's what I also did in the game, is to just keep stalling with Serpent and Mirror Force behind him. So in the case he decides to do some damage with 2 monsters, we have Mirror Force. And at the same time, if Mirror Force dies due to Breaker or MST, or he has Mystic Swordsman level 2, in combination with all that, we have Serpent instead of Moth, so it will survive. Okay, now we top deck Zombira, but we can already in this turn attack with Zombira. If Zombira dies, we can summon Chaos Sorcerer. This play is vulnerable to Snatch still. Or we can just set Serpent, or we can set Mirror Magician of Fate, but nothing has really changed that much compared to previous turns, so for all the same reasonings, just setting Serpent, I guess. Okay, now we have Ring. I guess we are a little better, a little less vulnerable to Snatch, but still very vulnerable. But now our hand size is coming at its limit. So therefore, in this turn I decided to go for the Zombira play, but surprisingly the Blade Knight just dies, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now we have 7 cards. I decide that it is still too risky to set the ring because of Xing. So I discarded Serpent here. He pops the Mirror Force. 2 more back rows. Now we got Solemn. Attack. Dies. So now again, we can set Serpent and 1 back row. For the same reason as always before, we can't set 2 back rows yet. I'm still not very safe with this fate, so I just set Serpent again. Finally we get awarded. Now Serpent goes back. We still can't set another back row and have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 8 cards, therefore we'll have to discard 1. If we discard Serpent, he will know that the set is not a Serpent. But I said, fuck it anyway, let's do this. And now he will have a very strong combination. Starting with Pot, continuing with Duo. Step 3 is to go for Kaiko. Oh, just exile to Morph and then Kaiko. Kaiko banishing our entire shit. Well, we have Ring, but no matter, he has Solemn. And now finishing up with the dash route. Okay, now we were so comfortable and we are not comfortable anymore. Breaker went back. So we can try to kill him with Tribe, or we can wall with Cypher, and at any case we can set Solemn. So it's like 2 possibilities. In the game I believe I went for the Tribe, but now I would prefer to just set Cypher, because really what am I going to discard with this Tribe? So set Cypher would be safer, I believe. So we set our own. He goes for Blade Knight, which is, we are very grateful for this Blade Knight, that it is not Donatan, Mr. Z, Don Zaluk. We can just take both. Very, very, very unfortunate, this top deck, but we can wall now still, like before. We have to solve this. Another extremely unfortunate top deck, and a Snatch is game. Well, what can we do? We go to game 3, starting now. Opening 0 monsters playable, but at least we have Duo and Thunder Dragon. So he discards Jar, so it will not be an issue for this game. And same reasoning as earlier, we have Sakuretsu and Raigeki Break, but Breaker is a problem, so setting Break. Ah, yes, I said both because I said there is 0 chance that he will use Heavy Storm because of the Jocks first turn. And so I said, if he has Breaker, I will just Raigeki Break. If he doesn't have Breaker, I will just Sakuretsu Armor. But he goes for Heavy Storm. I ask him why. He explains that he just believes that there was no Jog. And this was so stupid for me. So now we can try to set Sakuretsu to kill this lady, or we can wait 3 turns with swords. Both plays are not good. Aha, yeah, so drop off for Saku. Now we have only 1 choice. So swords 1 turn, swords 2 turns, swords 3 turns. Okay. Now we know that the set is not Morphin Jar, but it can be a warrior or can be Magician of Fate. So if it's warrior, the only real problem is Don Zaluk, because it will discard from our hand. fate is not really a problem. Deco, draw 1, upstart, draw, we got snatch. Now this snatch will get rid of the doesn't look problem, right? We can go for snatching the lady and attack. But of course, let's first see what pot gives us. So it gives us Tsukuyomi. Now before we snatch, we can go for setting this Dekoichi. If anything dies with by ring or torrential, we have some darks available for chaos. So I like this Tsukuyomi play first. It survives. And then we go for snatch still. So I decided to banish here because of getting rid of 2 lights is quite good in case of VLS, and also we are getting rid of this snatch steal vulnerability. And what we are going to be left with is Tsukuyomi loop protected by ring, so very good situation actually. Now the Koichi. We are not afraid of torrential. Now this Dekoichi has done a lot of work. And now I was looking, is there a game shot? I have Dekoichi and so I can summon Chaos Sorcerer effect. Then I can tribute it for Thunder Dragon and summon BLS, but it's 4600. It's not enough for the game in this turn. So I just summoned 1. Went through and setting Spy. We can go for game next turn if everything goes well. And everything did in fact go well. So we can go for the game. So this was match 2. And now we are going to the final match of the series, match 3. We are 37 minutes in, so stay tuned for the tiebreaker. He goes first, but our hand is very broken. Again, facing only Blade Knight and 1 back row. So here, unfortunately, I discard Thunder Dragon. Of course, the correct order is to first duo. So we do that. By the way, he does not know that we draw a spy from pot, so and now again, you can set just 1 back row or 2. In this case, if he has heavy, at least 1 of them is chainable. Therefore, I go for 2 back rows again. It is not punished, not awarded, but we get 2 spies. In this situation, I'm considering snatch stealing, but really we are just chilling here. And if you can chill in the warrior matchup, you should chill. Unless you are very far behind, but in this scenario, I think the correct way is just keep chilling. The chill was over really fast, really soon by Tribe. And now we take a huge amount of damage. If we take this huge amount of damage, we still have Ring, which will decrease our life points even lower in the future. This will be very dangerous. And my only out to this is like Snatch. If he has Solemn, we are going to be very sad. But all of this considering, I still decided to let it go. Now this is not a good situation to be in, like Snatch and 2 back rows, because we lose very hard to heavy. But I don't want to tribute for Thunder Dragon because I have this Regeki break, But on the other hand, even Nobleman is a nice fodder for Regeki break. But just decide to do nothing and pray. So we can trade one of the back rows for the attacker, that's fine. But, you know, 600 is not really any clock. We should maybe have considered... I have considered tributing for Thunder Dragon, but just decided to not do it. But I, I'm pretty sure that Thunder Dragon was the better choice here. Two back rows. Exiled in hand. He doesn't care about 600, just chilling with Exiled. And so, for this reason, now finally, Sakuretsu, this is like, I'm fine, it's good. But the problem is our life points. They are so low, and we can't really do anything about it, just set jog. So he starts to attack with Exiled, we still don't have any choice, just defend. Try to defend still, more defense. I'm like setting Serpent because there are Blade Knights, Swordsmen, and both revivals still left, so hopefully this will be rewarded. And he has Swordsman, and I see, well, this Swordsman is going to be a trouble anyway, so let's just get rid of it. And this also puts him in a very like mind game position. We are going to defend this Serpent with Regeki Break against Swordsman, so he will for sure think that this is something like Magician of Fate. So we are encouraging him to use Cloud Haunted on something like Exiled or Blade Knight or Premature Burial in the main phase 2. And then we can go for the Heavy Storm next turn, because we get rid of our last back row. And of course we are also getting Spy back. And so this gives us some options. So unfortunately, of all things, it's the BLS. And fortunately, we top deck the out. So we have the Storm, Regeki, Spy play. I also said Mystical Space because of revivals. And we can end phase anything he sets. Maybe should have waited for a revival, because Torrential is gone, Mirror Force is gone, what are we really afraid of? Nothing. So we lose to revival, however, so maybe should have just keep this MST. And now another reason why keeping MST would be much better. Not really. I mean, at this stage what would happen is he would summon Breaker effect, I would chain it to set Dashut, and we would have the exact same scenario. But if we... I mean, it would be better to hold MST. So, Knight Assailed. And we top deck Breaker. A lot of games just end up with top decking, but that's how it goes. Now he's going first with a very strong protect the castle type of opening against our not so good. I decided the best scenario here is just to try to float this Sangan into a Serpent, but unfortunately the dream of Serpent is ended by this lady, and we are already taking 2200 damage. We still have this dead Regeki break, no way to out this. So I decided that the best play is to just summon Breaker, pop one back row, and so basically use this Breaker as an MST and as a shield for our life points. Unfortunately, gets hit by Ring, so even more life points are gone even faster. At this stage I decided to set Solemn, because if he uses Xing we can chain Regeki break, although not happily because we don't have any good discard fodder. So it happens, but we are prepared. So now we know one of these two is Solemn as well. Okay, good. We can wall. Not for long. 200 life points left. Tribe, Solemn, set Sako. Sako, Solemn. Okay. And now the last game of the series. We open Deco and Protection. Duo discards armor, and then out of this, I think Fate as a light is the best discard. Now we can play around dash shoot by setting first. There is no world in which we will use torrential, so I keep it in hand for the time being. Spy resolves. Now here we can just chill, or we can go for almost game with Heavy Storm, and he has 2 in hand after all of this is over. So 2 in hand is still not so nice. So, but the alternative is to just put Deco to defense and he will die, or summon Zombira. And if he summons Zombira, the torrential is a possibility, but all things considered, I decide to go YOLO, but it's stopped by Solemn. Now I am still continuing the YOLO strategy, just pop one of the back rows, go for Zombira, and we could go for the game this turn, but if Zombira dies, putting Spice in attack mode, that would be really insane. So I just decide to leave it like this. Attack. If it's Mirror Force, fine. It's not Mirror Force. So now we know it's not Mirror Force, it's not Sakuretsu Armor. So one Xing is gone, but I'm not sure if he plays 2. It could be Xing, because it's not Battle Trap. So I just set 1. Solemn first, because if we set Torrential then and Xing, we can change Solemn, but the other way around it wouldn't work. So now we top deck Spy, and because we have Torrential, we don't summon this Spy. We want to save it for later. It was Rota. Summons Sasuke. It's time to use Torrential. He solemns, and we have to solemn this back. And hope for this tag going through. And it goes through. And so we win the series. It was a very nice series. I had fun. As much fun as you can have by playing against Warrior. Thanks for the Epoxy for duels. I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you have, subscribe, leave a comment, send email, and I will see you in the next video. Take care until then, stay healthy, bye bye.